Hi, my name is Niels Anderson. I'm the president and CEO of VetCV. The VetCV Vault is basically a digital go bag where you can store all the most important documents for you and your family: insurance, legal, personal, military, health records. And then we do a lot of other things inside the vault as well, including helping you with your career to find a great job with a great company. So, what's the why? Why did we build VetCV? Well, it all started with Congressman Jeff Miller some years ago when he was the chairman of the VA committee in the House, when he and his team started telling us about all the trials and tribulations that veterans and their families had after they got out of the military, when they get to the point of having to reach out to their congressman and senator. Some of the key things that we focus on is transition support and planning. There are a lot of people who don't plan well when they're transitioning from active duty to being a civilian. When I got out, there was no such thing as TAPS. They checked my hearing, my eyes, and my teeth and said, good luck. And most of the problems are about finding a great job with a great company. The other thing that we focus on is the mental health. We want to help prevent and reduce suicide. And overall, when we say CV, CV means curriculum vitae. It would also stand for career vault. But curriculum vitae in Latin means life record. So imagine a digital go bag, or as I've been told, mom's purse, where all the most important things are that you need when you need it. You don't know what's in mom's purse, but you do know that if you need something, that mom's got it. So our part in the overall solution to help with careers, transition, mental health, all kinds of other life chapter events, and suicide comes in the form of us deploying our technology to help our nation's veterans and their families and active military. And we call it the Vault. It's basically a web app, and a web app means that you don't have anything to install. We're completely agnostic as to iPhone or whatever, Android. It doesn't matter. Any phone, any device, all you need to be able to do is get online and use any browser to get access to all of your important documents and resources and tips that you now have stowed in your digital go bag that we call the Vault. When we first show somebody what's included in the Vault, they're amazed. They're like, hey, where's this been all my life? Why didn't I have this when I was transitioning out? Where's this been? I needed that last week. The Vault consists of, I don't know, about 11 or 12 modules right now. And we have a whole bunch on the roadmap that we're going to be adding on, like My Garage and a whole bunch of other things. My House. Right now, for instance, we have Your Career Health Vault. So it's not a complete health vault, but it's more like a personal health record where you can keep track of your medications, your immunizations, and any important documents. Even if you don't understand what they mean because they're written in doctor language, just take a picture, scan it or whatever, and load it up. And then keep track of when the event was. That way, if you ever need it, it's there in a nice, safe place where you know you can find it. It's your digital file cabinet or your digital go bag, no matter where you are. The Vault also contains what we call a resource library, because we are constantly finding ideas and tips and tools and resources that you can use throughout your whole life, whether you're starting a business and as a vetrepreneur, or you need some health information, or you need to get access to some parenting skills, or your personal finance budget, or whatever it may be, or legal services. These are all tools and tips that we've created or our partners have shared with us that they want to give to you. Those partners, we call them Patriot teaming partners. They could be top employers. They could be education partners. If you don't think that you're eligible for college, or you don't think that you are college material, well, Upward Bound is a perfect organization. They'll do all your college prep and go get your degree. And if you don't want a 4-year college degree, get a technical degree. Translate all of your military training and resources into that civilian job as fast as possible. The market potential for the VetCV community size is, as you can see here, about 67 million people. Now, will we ever get that? No. I think our first bogey is 500,000, and then maybe 1 million, and then 2 million, and who knows where it goes from there. If we get many more than that, that's perfectly fine. Now, how do we get at that? Well, there are about 19 million veterans and active duty personnel. The VA only takes care of technically about 7.2 million. That leaves about 11 million people that are not receiving any benefits whatsoever from the VA, yet the VA is responsible for every single one of them. And that's where we come in. The VA wants to be in front of them. They want to provide resources, and we can be one of those tools. We can support the mission of the VA and any other service organization that takes care of our nation's veterans and their families. But if we do the math on those 19 million, and let's say that we have, say, 15, 16 people around us who care about us, that's kind of the norm, right? But what we did is we said, well, what if only 2.1 people really cared about us, that there are trusted advisors? These are people that you can count on: your mother, your brother, your sister, your dad, your best battle buddy. So we used a factor of 2.1. And so 2.1 times 19 million plus 19 million gives us 67 million people. There are really only two things that I worry about a little bit on the risk side. One of them is that maybe a risk would be that we have a competitor that tries to emulate what we do. Now we have a head start. We've been doing this for a while, but we also have a really strong, powerful network of healthcare clinicians. And we've also begun assembling partners. Like I said earlier, there are about 4,000 organizations in our database right now. In our local area where we're kind of cutting our teeth in the Northwest Florida, we have about 172 that many of them we know extremely well, and the ones we don't, we will. So I think the barrier to entry is, number one, understanding what veterans need, understanding the clinical side of what we need to do and how best to use technology to help humankind. Then the other one would probably be, well, obviously cybersecurity is always something, but that's something that is ongoing every single day. We have our partners and ourselves. We're always looking for something to make sure that we're ahead of the game on that. We're still a startup, so we're kind of pre-revenue. We are getting some revenue, but it's nothing to speak of, and that's because we haven't really pushed it to market yet. But our revenue projections through the end of 2025 is about 221,000, and we expect to more than 2x that in 26. VetCV revenue will primarily consist of job posting ads, research and grant funding, sponsorships, affinity or affiliate relationships with our teaming partners if they're a for-profit organization, advertising, and some services that we can provide to our corporate clients. We've just started looking at the possibility of doing another raise or another funding round. If we decide to move forward with this round, it'll be used to really accelerate the software development and the BD side of this. Otherwise, we'll just continue to grow organically. We have a fantastic board and advisory board. I'm just baffled by the opportunity to be able to pick up the phone and call a two-star Marine, call an admiral, call a colonel, call a Delta guy, a commando, if we know where he is, because sometimes he's not around. These are all people that are not shy to share their opinion. We have someone who is an Air Force colonel who is one of the first female astronaut candidate from the United States Air Force on our advisory board. That's someone who I can pick up the phone and call. That is priceless. What do we talk about? We talk about threats, weaknesses, opportunities. I can count on them to tell me exactly what they think. They listen with both ears and then they opine, and that's priceless. Thank you for the opportunity. It's an honor, truly, to be considered as one of these candidates for this pitch. And I promise we will be the best stewards of the award if we're so fortunate to be a recipient.